Howdy folks, back in Laurel Fork. I'm going to do a little scouting this today and tomorrow. Going for a hike tonight, and already caught one little fish, little brook trout. I didn't have the camera with me yet. In fact, I caught it right here. I'll show you the big pool in a second. Saw a big bullfrog, and rain squalls are going through here and there, but here's the pool where I caught it, right down here. Over there by that rock ledge. So Shade just found this line there. They'd be something pretty nifty if you were out here trying to survive. It is nail trimmers, as well as I think an eyelet cleaner for a fish hook, you know, for fish hooks. Let's see if I can get it to focus. SS Pakistan, but still pretty useful. I don't think it's been here for a little while because it's got some rust on it on the side right there. Kind of cool. Handy little tool. Vern found a tree to hide in. These birches often, they like to grow on, oh my gosh, hi guys. These birches like to grow on like fallen logs. And then they'll, as the log rots away, what's left is the roots of the birch. In fact, there's a hemlock growing into the birch too. There's two hemlocks. That's pretty cool. I think I don't see that too often. When I was here last week, that right there is the cover photo of my video. If this wigwam structure was here, I am blind because I walked right by it. But I don't know. I don't think it was, but I think this was here and I just didn't notice it. I walked right by it. Oh my. Right. Well, the camera didn't turn off from last time, but let's spin this around, sorry. Come on. Alright, flipped upside down for some reason. There we go. Just caught this nice one. It's over a foot long. I mean, I think there's more in there too.
Can we eat it?
Yeah, we can eat this one.
We can eat it! We can eat it!
So, this stream is absolutely loaded with these guys. Big gold crayfish. I mean, big for around here. Pretty good size.
He's
beautiful. Want to pet him? Pinch your nose. So I'm right here behind the campsite, and you know, this is an area we're not allowed to take trees down, but dead and downed is okay to use. Right here you have a fir tree that's crushed by this ironwood that came down. Like that thing's, what pushed them? I guess this log here, when it fell, it hit this and took it down. But anyway, I would call that downed. There you go, green foliage you could use for shelter. Alright, we're back at Laurel Fork. This time we're going to walk south. Last week we walked north. Went a few miles there. This is about the same size as the north. I'll show you the map here. So this is about 6,000 acres. This is 5,000 some acres. This is 6,000 some acres. So the whole thing is 12,000 acres. We're here. We're going to walk down here and maybe up to there. I'm not sure. I'll just kind of check along the stream or something. I'm not going to be fishing this time because I already fished last night and we actually caught some. Caught a nice big trout, so, and ate him. He was delicious. So, see what the south looks like. Okay, right off the bat here, we have jewelweed, which is a lovely plant. Likes the marshlands, and it grows up and yeah, anyway, not edible or anything like that, although I've heard of people eating it, but really not truly a good edible. You can fight off poison ivy with it, as well as bug bites. You just kind of make it, you know, crush it up and put the sap of it on your hand, wherever the affected area is, and it works quite well. Good plant to have around. Pretty area. I think we're coming up on a spring. Only because I watched another YouTube video and some lady hiked this, and it's been years ago, and it was like a spring off on the right. It was a pipe coming out of the ground, so I'm hoping to fill up my canteen off of that. Hey, found the spring. You got to come up a little side trail off the main trail, and there it is. So I'm going to fill up my bottle right here. Kind of soggy in here. Nice. Cool.
My turn. He's
Well,
fine.
literally standing
So-
on the tank.
This, at one time, you can tell by this concrete wall here, the remnants of it there, the spring, and then the remnants of it here. This was once a big basin. It probably hold a couple thousand gallons of water, and probably for the railroad, which went by right there. For the, so, you know, the steam locomotives needs water on occasion, so this was probably for that purpose. That's an orchid. Got an orchid there. Jack in the pulpits right here. And then this tree, this many-trunked coppice tree, including this dead one, is basswood. Basswood is really nice wood to work, even with hand tools. Like, it cuts well, carves well. You can do a lot of cool stuff with it. And there's a nice dead and bound one. I wanted to take some pieces of that. Also, the inner bark, which this is not a good example, but you get these little peelers. Yeah, kind of like this. This stuff's pretty good tinder, right? And when it's green, that inner bark can be made into rope too. But yeah, good tinder, good tree to have around. Glad we found one. There'll be more. I'm sure if there's one, there's going to be more. Stream is pretty broad here. You got the main channel. That's a big standing water channel back in there. Probably a good spot to fish. So Google Earth shows that there's some ponds up in here, actually at the other end, at the north end. So I don't know if they're considering this a pond as well. In fact, I see a beaver lodge. Yeah, there's a beaver lodge right there. Pretty good sized one too. So this is a beaver, yeah, there's the dam. So it's a beaver dam. It's a beaver pond. There's the dam. There's the lodge.
I see
Yeah,
it.
and I'm going to say this is probably pretty active. I'm seeing some beaver signs. Just thinking, you know, I kind of said last video, oh, the beavers are here. Can't hunt them, can't trap them. But it's still good to have around. It's like, well, why are they good to have around? I kind of rewatched the video and I'm like, I didn't make it that clear. Well, I think they're good to have around because if they take a tree down, you got all that green foliage still attached to the tree. You can use that. That's a downed tree at that point. You know, when being in a wilderness area, you're not supposed to take down living trees. So, fair enough, the beavers can do it for you. And then you've got shelter materials. There's a minor dam up there. There's the lodge. There's the main dam. So, they're in there. In fact, there's a really active beaver trail coming off the back there. A slide trail. I'll point at it. Hopefully you can see this in the camera. It was very dark brown compared to the surrounding soil. They've been working that like very often this year for sure. Cool.
Here. Here.
All right, so the beaver ponds just keep going. This is like the third or fourth one, and there's another big one up there. Could be bass and stuff in there too. I mean, these ponds have been here for a while. Somebody's been packing mud on this one recently, enough that the water level came up, and you can tell this because there's grass that's bent over that's underwater. So that means the water's come up by a few inches in the last, you know, day or maybe week to flood those out. And you can see by the mud packed in here, they re-secured this dam. So they're in here for sure. If you sat here for a while, I guarantee you'd see one. All right, so I think we've come to one of the old logging camps. This was logged in 1921 or something like that, and I believe these are apple trees. If they're not apples, then they're crab apples. Something back in here too, large and dark. Maybe a old spring. What is that? Is it just? It's just a rock. I did find a wash tub up the hill. Now these are crab apples, but still, they might have something edible. Pretty area. I'll bet there's a campsite here too, like with a fire ring. Pretty spot. All the beaver dams are right down there. There's spruce trees here. I figure there's a campsite in there somewhere. If not, that'd be a neat spot. A little too close to the trail for my liking, but I don't know. Picking up on something here. It's a neat spot. Like, I'm really feeling something coming from this area. Pretty. So this is what I was wondering. I was wondering if these beaver ponds are inhabited by ducks, and I just kicked one up. It just took up the valley. I don't know what kind of duck. I'm not a duck identifier, but he was blackish. A dark duck. And here's one of the beaver ponds right here. One of the many beaver ponds. So ducks use this area too. Cool. And ducks, big, there's a pretty good sized fish in there. I mean, not huge, but it was like, you know, 8 inches right there. Nice. Wish this grove here was further away from the trail, because it'd be a heck of a neat place to camp, really. Maybe find another grove like this someplace that's not near the trail that would make a suitable place, but it's got deep moss and just a really, really pretty site. Pretty spot here. Firs. Look at this now. A beaver that's been very active in burying all of those sticks so he can get back and chew on the bark. A lot of stuff buried in there. Just sunk. And the lodge must be right here up against the bank. Right here. This is cool. There's a lot of beaver sign in here. It'd be nice if you could bow hunt beaver. Pretty spot here. Okay. On the old railroad track. And it's undercut by the stream a bit here. Nice. There's the old cut. Railroad track cut. There's a bunch of orchids down there.
I know.
So last week I misidentified that, or I didn't identify it. And I've since looked it up. It's hellebore, and it's, or hellebore. Anyway, nasty stuff. You don't want to, there's been fatalities associated with people eating that. And then behind it is skunk cabbage, which, yeah, you don't want to eat that either. So, know that neither of those are any good for you. A lot of flowers right in here. It's purple. There's some wind kicks up. And a bunch of violets here. Nice. Lilies. Whole bed of them. I figured we were, I don't know, 30 yards off the trail. Looked over at this bush. There's a fire ring there. Stream's right there. Nice flat spot here. What a pretty spot. Yeah.
To get something.
The first mountain laurel that we've come across is right here beside this campsite.
Wow, I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty in here.
Found a button laurel. The first thing we see.
And it's funny because they call this Laurel Fork, but we hardly saw any laurel. And we went to Otter Creek and we did not see anything but laurel. It's everywhere there. And also, someone saw an otter here, and no one sees otters up in Otter Creek. So, yep, that'll switch the names. Then we wouldn't know where we are. So we're on the southern branch, and some observations. A lot less deer sign down here. I haven't seen any bear sign. ramps are a whole lot less common. That's the first bed we've seen. I haven't seen any oak trees in here at all, like neither side. That's one of the few tulip poplars that I've seen in here. So it's definitely a different mix than back home. It's almost like going to Michigan or something like that. You know, it's that much different as far as, because we're up in elevation. So I'm gonna keep my eyes out for oaks now that I really think about it, and start looking around for some and see if I see any at all. But yeah, so far I think I'd pick going north as opposed to going south. Just, this is really pretty. It's got some really awesome spots, but north seemed to be better for resources. This is a little more lush and the valley's wider too, so I don't know. I guess each has its own advantage. Maybe do both. That's what it looks like. I think that's a basswood burl.
Isn't basswood related to birch?
No. It is not. It's actually related to willow.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's done.
Look at the size of that burl, huh?
And then wait.
So Shade noticed this. I missed it. I walked right by it. But it is. Who knows what this is? I know what this is. It says on it something Reeves, Philadelphia. It's hard to read. And then it says something in the middle. I can't quite make it out. It looks like it says Philadelphia again, honestly. Anyway. Yep. Remnants. I wonder if this was another camp. Like a logging camp. Forest there. That is bear poop. That's a big mound of it. He's been here too. Open area here. We lost the trail. Like it just kind of, there was some fallen logs, and we're still following the stream, so we know where about we are.
I
But
know.
the trail itself has gone somewhere, and it's not here. So this is the first deer sign that I've seen up in this area. I saw 1 foot steps. Wasn't absolutely sure on that though, but this is definitely a deer bed right here. I've been sleeping here pretty recently. A bunch of skunk cabbage chewed by something too. And I don't know if deer eat skunk cabbage. It seems like awfully poor food for them, but something's been eating it. Maybe that bear. So the trail's on the other side according to the map, and we'll come back into it. But there's an island here. Now, kind of an island. It's more of a backwater. Let's say the old stream bed there. But there's fish in there. That looks lovely. That's where I would be if I was a fish. Right underneath that rock. I'm definitely trailing something here. Still haven't found the trail, but there's something that walked through here with big feet. Either person or bear. Yeah. Somebody could have come down here to fish this. There is another side trail that goes up and out, so it's possible it was a person. It could have been the guy stalking, or it could have been a bear. I think yeah, well, we just found very fresh sign that, in fact, what was walking here was a bear. Hi, bear. Well, we're following like where he walked. He walked right up through here. Interesting mushroom on a birch tree. You think it's a lady slipper?
Yeah.
Beautiful, don't touch.
Uh-huh.
And there's actually several here.
Yeah, there's
Over there.
several.
Yep.
But Franny actually found them.
Good job.
Yeah, I found
There's
them.
more? Alright, so we're back. I'm gonna break down camp and get out of here. But the south wilderness area was pretty nice. The trail kind of broke off in one place and was not marked. It was just one cairn that someone had knocked partially over, and the trail turned there and went up. We didn't know that, and there was still a trail that went forward, so we continued forward, and then that just kind of fizzled out. But we still were right there next to the stream, so we went up there, you know, maybe half a mile or so, had lunch, and then turned around and came back down. A lot of bear sign up in there, but the trail would have been like up on the side bank on the, geez, which side? I'm all turned around. It would be on the west side. Yeah. Anyway, so that was that. Really nice little trip up there. Not as much deer sign, not as many ramps, but still it has some different environments, especially with those crabapple trees, that big open area there, the beaver dams, and the active beaver sign. So neat area. I like them both. We didn't go very far in. It goes for another 7 miles or something like that. So there's a lot of unexplored territory there in either direction. So yeah, I think this is a great spot to do this wilderness survival challenge, and I can't wait until September to get out here and do it for real. Catch y'all later.